Knock knock. Who's there? The AAA industry. The AAA industry who? Well, what's the punchline? I don't have one. Has this ever happened to you? Of course it did. When was the last time a AAA game was funny? Laughing is now illegal in gaming. Everything needs to be serious, dark and soul-crushing. And mind you, I do enjoy a nice spoon of digital depression, but Phil, where's the funny? And no, I don't mean just the comedy in a game like Portal. I mean the weirdo shit, like when in Undertale you book a hotel room, go to sleep, and all of a sudden the game does this. I have no idea what's happening here, but it's funny, unexpected, and I love that! AAA games instead feel the need to always give an explanation to things. Everything is very formulaic and predictable, because every line of the script needs to go through at least 50 people that will decide if two characters high-fiving each other will be considered as Nazi propaganda by 4 people on Twitter in the next 2 years. Pick a smaller or more independent project instead and boom! Suddenly Alan Wake 2 turns into Balatro Wonder Woman. And why did this happen? Because publishers want to copy Hollywood? Ooh, movies have complex and enticing plots. Yeah, sure, go for it. Ooh, movies have cool CGI. Fine, take that too, just don't focus on it too much. Ooh, movies are either sad or superhero recycled stuff. No, AAA industry, there's other stuff out there. Ooh, movies have... Yeah, see, you copied too much. Thankfully, I have my friend Naruto down here covering my back, because if there is one thing I can always count on is that Japanese games are funny. Latest example was Rise of the Ronin, but all people could talk about is how much better Ghost of Tsushima was. Oh yeah, this game was so much better. Look, can't you see all the pixels of the wind? How the flowers are procedurally generated in 8K resolution, and the pores of the characters are so realistic, and oh, the flute, man, the flute! Yeah, but in Rise of the Ronin, I'm fighting a grave-robbing dog after having brainwashed his doggy friends to help me. So guess which one is better now? Ghost of Tsushima? After 7 hours it just starts repeating itself on a loop. Rise of the Ronin? There's a fat guy that uses me like a baseball. I can use a flamethrower while wearing a sombrero. I can send cats on assassination missions. Ghost of Tsushima? Ouch. Rise of the Ronin? Whee! Ghost of Tsushima? Bye-bye. Wait, are you still alive? What is your head made of? Rise of the Ronin? Die. Red Dead Redemption 2? Oh, we studied horses for 15 years to make sure that whenever you hit a rock, the horse dies in the most realistic way and... Hit yourself for me! Yeehaw! And the horse is still fine, because this is a funny game. But Robot Dick, are you stupid or something? What about setting the tone? You can't joke around when the story is the gritty tale of a guy called Dishwasher fighting the Russians. See, I agree with that. I don't think that putting a comedy skit in The Last of Us 2 would have made for compelling storytelling. Oh girl, you're playing Hotline Miami? Oh, that game is a cut above the rest. See, it doesn't work. But I care about that when the plot is actually half decent. What's the story of Boar of Sushimax? Tom Cruise, son, you can't stab a dude in the back. You need to face your enemy head on and get lobotomized with a katana straight into your eye socket. I cannot condone your dishonorable ways anymore. Well, Grandpa, mission impossible accepted. Blah, oh, I'm dead. Oh my god, give this game 100 Oscars because it's so profound. In the sense that it makes me want to drown. If your plot has to be so run-of-the-mill, you should be contractually obligated to make it as stupid as humanly conceivable.
I'm here to kill chaos. Like chaos, I want to kill chaos. 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 I become chaos.
Exactly. Who made this game? Exactly. Or you hire professionals who are experienced in the ancient arts of going full fucko mode. That's how you get Yakuza games. Are you still holding to that dream of becoming an astronaut? Well, dream no more, cause if you want to experience the absolute whiplash astronauts get when rocketed out of the stratosphere, you just need to play these games. Where one moment you have this cast of outcasts sitting in a room ready to rip each other's spine to play golf with, and 5 minutes later you get this. Serious stories, still plenty of space for the funny. How much more can we push this? How far can we spread the funny? Medal of Honor on PS1. This game can't be funny. It's about the worst thing that happened in the last century. After the release of those Philips Zelda games.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
You start the game and there's a dude looking at a map made of cheese. A guy with no eyes is reading documents. The first level has the most evil soundtrack ever created. And then you shoot a guy and he dies in slow motion. This is funny to me. And this game has the greatest death animations in the history of games. You've got the draw me like one of your French models death, the I'm over 27 and suddenly my shoulder hurts, the Dragon Ball punch, the I stepped on a bee, and then my favorite, acute death. See, because it's an acute angle, you get it, okay. I wanna know who the hell thought that a death animation should be a Michael Jackson dancing performance, and I want to hug him. And that's not all. Sometimes they start shooting before falling on the ground, and if you go in front of them, you get hit. And the funniest part is that it was made by EA. What happened in the past 20 years? You used to be cool. Alright, nap time's over. I'm about to hit ya with the funniest game ever. This game is peak comedy. I don't know, it might be the fact that the protagonist has to fart every time he uses a finisher.
And the Game Award for Best Debut Indie goes to Stray.
Maybe the fact that half the sound effects are missing. Maybe the porn level quality of the voice acting.
Get the fuck off me! Shut up, old man.
Or the actual softcore porn. But this game is hilarious, and I can mathematically prove it. I just need to describe the scene. Okay, listen, had to replay this piece of crap for 5 hours to record this. Just bear with me, it's gonna be worth it. Alright, so in this scene, Paul Giamatti has to enter this villa, but uh-oh, there's an electric fence. Okay, electric fence, you turn, there's a big fuel truck. Take a second and think how you believe this sequence will play out. Okay, so first thing we murder these innocent bystanders and then we steal the truck, and... where is he going? The fence is there, he's going down there instead. Whatever, let's drive and see where this goes. And so we run over the entire police force of Dallas. Well, I'm saying run over, but sometimes they just crash on their own. We reached our destination and it's a... power plant? Well, okay, can't think about that too much, because all the workers decide to try to kill us for some reason, and why the fuck does this guy have an AK? Alright, America. Never mind that, we get to the end of the level, we've murdered 3/4 of this town's population, and we blow up the entire plant just to disable an electric fence! You think that's the worst part? No, he goes back and he enters from the main gate. The only part that was never electrified to begin with. I've reached the nirvana here. 5 minutes later, it turns into Crash Bandicoot. Listen, let me level with you. This game is crap, I know, but it also has the kind of stuff I just can't find in AAA games anymore. What we get instead is the polar opposite, and that's not serious games. It's games that try to be funny. It's bombarding us with lame jokes. It's putting one single side quest that exudes hello fellow kids energy from every pixel. It's...
Did I just do that?
Nope, Nope, I'm done looking at that shit. Making a more heartfelt and emotional game is just as hard as making a genuinely funny and weird one. But forced comedy is like shooting a bunch of chicks against a wall using a Gatling gun, hoping that one of them might take flight and turn into a delicious nugget. That ain't happening, chief. What you get is not a nugget. It's a Jimmy Kimmel sketch.